Hello everyone, I'm Handsome Brother. We meet again. I'm located in a remote city in Maryland called Cumberland. Basically, I don't see any foreigners here, and the total population is only 200,000. In this video, I want you to see what a real rural American town looks like. And we're right in the middle of the city. Although it is a city, it is actually a small town. My first impression is that this town is really in decline. It is said that historically, Cumberland was the second largest city in Maryland, nicknamed Queen City. But after World War II, the local industry declined rapidly. Maryland's urban commerce and technology were concentrated on the East Coast. So today, the city is basically deserted. We can see him. The speed of decoration is also very slow. The bridge just repaired, and the road repaired here are estimated to have been repaired for a year or two and have not been repaired yet. If we could go back in time 100 years ago, I believe the city was really prosperous. But today, 100 years later, the city hasn't changed much. He hasn't even changed this brick on the surface of the building. It feels like I'm really back in time 100 years ago. You can take a look at the modern atmosphere without a trace of silk. On the contrary, it gives me the feeling that it is really retro, due to Cobra's relatively remote location. Plus, there's not a lot of people living here, causing the whole city to become very backward. And he's now one of the poorest cities in America. No matter how it's built, the whole city looks the same. And there's not the slightest smell of fireworks. There are basically no pedestrians on the road. Let's go to his downtown now to find a Chinese restaurant to see what it tastes like. Although it is a Chinese restaurant, but based on my past experience, it's impossible for this town to specialize in Chinese food. I guess it's a restaurant where there's Chinese food, Thai food, and Japanese food. There's this whole American food thing. And now we're in the middle of the city. This is one of the most luxurious restaurants in the city center. You can enjoy foreign cuisine here. Let's go in together now and try what his foreign food tastes like. There was no one in the restaurant. It feels like a ghost town. Now let's look at the menu. I'm going to order one of these ramen noodles to eat. A bowl of ramen costs $14. I didn't expect it to cost $14 for a bowl of noodles in such a remote place. It was an eye-opener. I guess no one ate it. So he lied to the locals. It's normal to make them feel that a foreign meal is a little more expensive. Now my ramen is up. This noodle feels like it's not hand-rolled noodle. Maybe it's instant noodles. This soup is not very hot either. I guess he's that kind of soup base. If someone is coming, please heat it up quickly. I also tasted the noodles, and the taste is very ordinary. The whole soup is just salty and spicy. There's some sweet potatoes and mushrooms in there. After dinner, I went around this town again. You can see that the whole town is really a ghost town without a single person. It's kind of like being in this Hollywood theater. Nitro. This feeling of being surrounded by fake scenes. Because America is a Christian country, basically every city has its own church. So right in front of us, we see this big cathedral, which is Cumberland's biggest cathedral. You can see here that there are some about. This sculpture of the Sacred Heart. After walking for a while, we now come to the house. Basically, his residential buildings are on both sides of the residential area. I finally found a living person in front of me. Still a mailman. I don't know what a mail carrier is doing in a small place like this. That's it for this video. See you next time. Bye.